Otters are a common sight in Singapore, but did you know they had all but disappeared in the 1970s? Back then, the waterways were too polluted to sustain them. Today, they are thriving and their population is being carefully documented through a nationwide otter census.
No GPS tracker, no AI camera, just patience and the faint smell of otter droppings in the air. For weeks, the elusive Changi Bay Point otters had evaded every watcher, but Michelle Tan wasn't ready to give up.
I sat down on the PCN and waited. I looked through the binoculars into that very dim, dark space and I saw movement. And about 10 minutes later, they started to leave. I managed to catch a video of them leaving their whole one by one single file down to the sea. And
convenient for count.
Very convenient. So I was able to get clear video evidence of the entire family. I felt like very accomplished because this was the first sighting we've had of this family in the census, and I think without my sighting, this family might not have been included in census at all. So we'll be 13 otters short.
Ms. Tan is part of a community of otter watchers who helped with Singapore's latest nationwide census, a rigorous effort to track every otter family across the island. But finding them isn't as simple as it sounds. We're here at Bishan Park to find out how spotters know when the furry critters have passed through.
Yeah. Oh wait, here. This is sprint. This is the remains of the poop left behind by otters. There is a lot of it. It's the black ones and like the transparent thingies that you see here are actually fish scales.
It's often the first clue the otters have been around, but each one of them must be counted only once. Years of watching have trained volunteers to notice the smallest differences, such as markings on their bodies, a chipped tooth, or a distinctive scar on this otter from the Bishan family.
The community of otter watchers, we have built up a pool of knowledge of where different families of otters, where they are found, their home range. But for the census, there are certain areas that are less visited, let's say the northeast, Sembawang, even Jurong or Changi Beach, where there aren't that many residents there. We actually make a concerted effort to go, let's say, a few times a week until we find otters in the area.
Decades ago, otters were rarely seen in Singapore. They disappeared around the 1970s when waterways were heavily polluted and returned only in the 1990s after years of environmental cleanup.
So when otters return to Singapore, of course it's very exciting. It's a testimony to the clean conditions of the waterways. And initially they were at the coast, and then they began to move inland.
The otters returning once again is a story of hope. Look what happens when we clean up our environment.
The last census in 2021 counted 170 otters across 17 groups, more than double the 79 recorded in 2017. The 2024 census is now undergoing scientific review and will be published later this year.